Yes. So first let's start with this problem here. Okay. So this was the problem that was asked in 2013 examination, and you're given this table and you have to select the correct garnet and clinopyroxene pairs out of these. Okay. This is 10-second question only from this part, but you need to still take some effort to analyze what is happening here, and you should know like what is recalculated cation composition data. Okay, so how do we get these values? So we will look at that process, because if some other question comes where you have to calculate these values, then that will also be very helpful for that. Okay, so that is why here I have this data. Okay, from analysis, chemical analysis of a rock, and this is actually for a, not a rock, for a mineral. Okay, so we want to find out the formula for that mineral, and this is what our analysis gives us. Normally your analysis will always give you, we will have oxides. Okay, first of all, why do we have oxides? For all we put oxides in these cases.
So due to presence of oxygen,
Yeah,
more present.
oxygen is the most abundant element in the crust, right? It is the most abundant element in the crust, and it could be sulfide also, but all these on left hand side, they are cations. Okay, they are all cations. So if you know total number, so the cations in your rock, you can find how many oxygens will be there, because oxygen has to balance that charge. So there are many different types of cations. There is only one anion. Okay, one type of anion, not one, but there is only one type of anion, and there are many different types of cations. SiTiAlCr Fe 2 plus Mn Mg Ca Na, all these are cations. Many different kinds, only one anion, very important thing. And how many anions you need? Now oxygen depends on what cations you have, because if you know all your cations, you know oxygen, how, what is the amount of oxygen in a mineral, because and that's because it has to balance the charge on the cation. There is only slight problem occurs in this part, where it is this chemical analysis usually gives you total, I mean, it does not differentiate between ferric and ferrous. So here sometimes it is given as combined, but for rest of those, if you know the cation, and you will automatically know how many oxygen atoms you should have to balance that charge. Now when you do this analysis, what actually happens is that you get all your, sorry, not this one, so all your data in weight percent. Okay, and what you have here is, this is molecular mass, or formula mass also you can say. In this way we should say formula, because it may not form any molecule also. We should write formula mass. Okay, so this is the formula mass for research. So and you can calculate this if you want. It's not very difficult. Okay, so it's you just have to add the masses up. Okay, so for example, for magnesium oxide, what is atomic mass? Magnesium has, what is the atomic mass of magnesium? 24, right?
24.
For
Hmm.
oxygen,
20.
16.
so total becomes 40. So that's what's written here. Similarly for calcium, it's for CaO, it's, sorry, 40, 20,
40 and
16.
50.
It becomes 56. So this first column is nothing interesting here. It's just like formula mass of all these units. In second column is what you get after chemical analysis. You get these values in weight percent. Okay, so all these values are in weight percent. These. Okay, so how do you calculate, first of all, weight percent? How will you calculate? So this is what you get from analysis. Okay, this is from analysis, you don't calculate. They all have to add up to 100. Okay, they all have to add up to 100. Now weight percent is usually not a very, what you should say, intuitive and useful criteria, although it is used to, in it is used in sometimes calculating, for example, the norm, when you calculate norm. mode is usually volume percent. That is even less useful than weight percent. You need to multiply it with density to from volume percent to get weight percent. But if you want to calculate formula of a mineral, what you want is moles. How many moles of one species react with another species? Okay, so we calculate in the next column, we calculate another property which we'll call mole units. So here we will calculate mole units. Okay, so in this column. So how will you calculate mole units?
So weight percentage by formula mass.
Okay, so you will have to calculate exactly. So you just do weight percent by formula mass. Okay, I'll erase these so that I can write the formulas right on top of these here. So mole units will be equal to weight percent by mass, formula mass. Okay, so tell me for each of these values. Now you see there are only to keep our analysis simple, here there you have only three species, three oxides in your SiO2, MgO and CaO. Okay, so just keep your calculators ready. Now we'll do this analysis together. Okay, tell me what will be the value of this part. The first, how many mole units of SiO2?
1.08.
Mole units of
Point
SiO2?
nine
No, why 1.0?
nine
It
two.
has to be 55.49 weight percent by formula mass. I think you have done opposite. Yes, someone was saying 0.
0.9235.
Yes, that is the correct answer. These will all be 0. What about MgO?
0.4617.
What about CaO?
0.4618.
Point 0
4618.
4618.
6.
Okay, and these will be 0 again. Okay, all these will be 0. So what will be the answer if you total moles, if you have to calculate, how many total moles will you get if you add these up? Yes, you just have to add these up.
1.84714.
Yes. Okay, 1.84714. This is what you're getting. Okay. So just by looking at the values that you get here, can you guess? I mean, what will be the ratio? So you have SiO2, all these in this ratio, SiO2, MgO, CaO, and all these ratios you're given. Just by looking here, you can get an idea. Now this is, now you have things in moles. Now the good thing of things, having all these values in mole units. Okay, when you write formula, you can also write it like this. Here also, here only you can stop. You can write SiO2 is 0.923354. Then you'll have MgO. Okay, 0.46174, and CaO 0.46186. Okay, so number of oxygens that are present in each of these oxides, you just multiply it by number of moles that you get here of each of these units. Okay, so if I have to calculate now here oxygen units from mole units, let's go to oxygen units. So you can see you just calculate by multiply number of oxygens that you have in the formula by uh, 0.99234 in the first case. Okay, so oxygen units will be given by, in this formula oxygen units will be given by O2 times, or number of oxygens, not O2, number of oxygens, just into mole units. Okay, so what should be the answer in the first case? You are just, you can do these calculations here also, or you can complete the table. What will be the value for oxygen units?
1.84708.
Oh, correct. Then these will all be 0. Then for this one,
It will be same as moles.
yes, exactly. And for similarly for this one, it will be same, because number of oxygen is only 1 here, so you will multiply with 1. So if you add them up, what will be the answer?
2.77068.
Okay, so this is the answer that you'll get if you add them all up. So the formula for this whole thing can become Si 0.9354. Actually, we'll write it just like we know in standard cases. We'll write Mg 0.46174 Ca 6 Si. Okay, and oxygen is 2.77068. Okay, so this is the formula of the substance. It doesn't appear very neat, right? There are too many, I mean, decimal places here. First of all, do you recognize this formula now? It is slightly recognizable. If you look at the ratios here, what is this ratio? 1 is to Mg and Ca, 1, okay, is to approximately, just by recognizing it. What is the ratio of
2.
this? So this is
2.
approximately 2 is to, what about oxygen here? How many? You just divide that 2.77 by 0.46174.
3.
6.
How much? I need one answer. Divide by
6.
you have to divide by these values, because this is what you are taking as 1. What is it equal to? 6, right?
6.
So how does this formula look like? What do you, so it looks like
The
CaMg
pyroxene.
Si2O6. Okay, it looks like pyroxene, right? It's actually
Yes.
diopside. So this data is for diopside. So I mean, when in table, so you can recognize from here itself it is reported like this. So what we actually do in table, so we will, I mean, how do you want to write it? It depends on that. So usually we want to report how many number of oxygen atoms do you want in the final formula. That is what we take. So let's say we take 6 oxygen atoms in the final formula. You say sometimes pyroxene is also written with 3 oxygen atoms in final formula, especially if you don't have Ca and Mg, it's only Mg. So you will write as MgSiO3 also you can write. So 6, if you want 6 oxygens. Okay, so how will you normalize this data now? If you want 6 oxygens here, okay. So now what this is called is, this is called normalized oxygen units. Okay, normalized oxygen units. So you want your total oxygens in the final formula, just like here you want this so that it looks neat. So this you want to convert to 6, so that total adds up to 6. Okay, so the thing is 2.77. If the total is 2.77, SiO2 has 1.84 of those oxygen units. So if total is 6, how many will you get here? What formula will you use? So you'll use oxygen units divided by 2.77069 into 6. Okay, this is what you did here actually. Over here, how many oxygens will go with each of these now? You want to find out how many oxygens will go with each of these. In the final formula, you want there to be 6 oxygens. So you just, this 1.847 divided by 2.77 into 6. So this is just normalization which you are doing. If 2.77 total contains 1.84, 6 will contain these many. So what should be the answer for the first one?
9.
It should be
9.
for the first one. Why 9? It was 1.847 divided by 2.77 into 6. Calculate. It will not come out to be 9.
3.9999.
3.9. Yes.
Okay, something like this. What about MgO?
0.9999.
And what about CaO?
It's 1.000001.
What will be the total? You don't need to calculate it. It has to be 6. That is why you did that normalization. You want the total to add up to 6. Correct? So you can add them up also if you want, but this is approximately 4. This is 116. Okay. So now in next step, this is what the data finally that is given to you is atom units. Okay. So finally what you do is you calculate those atom units. Okay, and what you write here is those atoms. Now you want for how many atoms of each of these are there. So number of oxygen units you have found here. Okay, atom units will be now only for Si. I will not write these Mg and Ca. Now I'm not writing SiO2, MgO2, CaO2, all these things. Okay, so I've written these values here. So Si, how much Si is there is or not is without oxygen now. Okay, so if I have 3.9999 oxygens, how many silicons will be there?
3.99 divided by 2.
Exactly. So you can just take it approximately equal to 4. So 4 divided by 2 will be
2.
2. Then all these are 0. This is 1 divided by, in MgO, this is 1 divided by,
It will be same as oxygen.
yes, so it will be
By 1.
approximately 1, right? Both these. So what does total add up to?
4.
4. Okay, so the total. So I mean, we could indirectly stop here only and just make these ratios like make one of these 1 and then you will get some of these values, but ideal is you need to actually, this was a simple formula where everything adds up to becomes integers. But usually what you do is we fix the number of oxygens that we want. You can write 12 here, everything will become double here. You can write 3. If you write 3 here, you will get these as 0.5, 0.5, and this will come out to be 1. Okay, SiO3, CaMg, it will be 0.5 each of these. Okay, so this is these are the units that you get. 2 1 1. So what it says is you have total of 4 cations. Okay, if you add them all up, not 1 2 3, two of these plus one each of these. Okay, and you have total oxygen units is 6. So this is number of oxygen units. So this atoms is basically this is what we call recalculated cation compositions. So there is nothing fancy here, just some algebra. Okay, so atom units is just basically is equal to number of oxygens divided by that. uh, so this number of oxygen units divided by that what you have on top of, divided by 2 in this particular case, so I'll just write n. So this value. Okay, how many oxygens you have with each silicon. So you'll get number of silicons. Okay, number of, or we could write cation units also here, cation units. So these are atom units or cation units, and this is finally what you get. And now you can see like very easily what your formula should look like. How many Si are there? So first of all, right, Ca is 1, Mg is 1. Okay, how many Si are there? 2. How many oxygen are there in this formula? Total.
6.
You don't need to write with how many goes we go with Ca O6. Okay. Now everything is also balanced also. Okay. So how many go with, yes. So with Ca, one oxygen will go, with Mg, one oxygen will go, with Si, two oxygens will, sorry, Si2 is there, so four oxygens will go with Si. Okay. So this is the total formula. So this is oxygens. Total number of cations is this one. Okay. Total number of cations, Ca you have 1, Mg is 1, Si is 2. You add them up, you get 4 in total, and this is what you have here. Okay, so this is how we do these calculations. Now look at this question. So this gives you recalculated cation composition. So now you are getting final cations. Okay, so number of oxygens you can calculate in each of these. For example, it will depend on, for Si you need 2, TiO2 you need Al2O3. You can calculate those. You'll see like how many oxygens will get. Not really required for this one. So what do you think is the answer for this question now, if you have to solve very quickly? Just what we did in final step. All this adds up to 4 total number of cations in a rock. How many total cations are there in this mineral? In
8.
garnet. How many? 8.
8.
What about the second one? This one.
4. 6.
4 or 6? 1 2 3. So you have one Ca, one Fe, one Mg, and two Si. Actually, because Fe and Mg are written in bracket, what does that mean? It
So
is
they are
actually one
combined.
only, because it can replace each other. So together Fe and Mg will form one. For example, these together we don't add up to all of these, we take to as 3 only. Okay. So this is Ca, Fe, Mg, Mn. All of these combined should be 3. Okay. For example, in previous Ca, Mg, Si, 2O6. This is what we write. We can also write it as CaMg 2 Si2O6 if these ratios are not fixed. Usually when these ratios are not fixed, this is what we write, is that Ca and Mg together will form 2. Okay. If Ca is 0.4, then Mg has to be 1.6. Okay. So this is why. So what are total number of cations in the second formula?
4.
Correct. 4.
4.
So one Ca, FeMg together, one Si2. So what should be the correct answer for this one? For garnet, where do you get 8? Okay. Then for this one, you're getting 4. Where do you get 4? Here. So garnet, this should be garnet. This should be clinopyroxene. Okay. 1 and 3. D. Okay. You don't even need to look at things that are given to you on top of that. Okay. Now why is it challenging here? Because some of you got confused, because you said like in this solid solution formula one can replace another. How much is present? We don't know about that. Okay, we do not know. This is in solid solution. Okay, so one can replace another, but first look at things which are fixed. These are fixed. Okay, that is the first thing that you will look at. Okay, if Al2 Si3O12. Okay, so with aluminum, another way you can just go about this is calculate the compositions, but you'll need to know the oxygen states, oxidation states for all of these. For Fe, that is difficult to calculate. Okay, you could go that route also to calculate that this total number of oxygens have to add up to 12 here and 6 in the second case. Okay, so Mn cannot be there. That is not necessarily. All these have to add up to 3. Ca, Fe, Mg, Mn. Okay, if you add Ca, Fe, Mg and Mn, if you add those up it should be 12. Now Al2Si3, that is fixed. Al2Si3 is fixed, so both these sort of like fit in the criteria. Okay, this is why they gave it. This is why people get confused a little, is that these are fixed compositions. So but with this 2 and 3 can be correct, but to get this correct, first of all, Ca, Fe, Mg, Mn have to add up to 3. What will happen if you add this up to 3? Ca, Mg, Mn and what is the Fe? Okay, so if you add this all up here, what will you get? Just add this all up. Second cannot be. Fe itself is 6. How can it be true? Okay, Fe, this is not even possible. Okay, because Fe is given to be 6, whereas Ca plus Fe plus Mg plus Mn have to add up to 3. So this can be neglected. Similarly for clinopyroxene, if you look at Ca to Si ratio, it is 1:2. So Si2 and where is Ca is both are slightly different in this particular case. So one is 0.84, but this is closer to 1. Okay, you are not getting exact value as 1. Maybe some solid solution could be there, but yes, if you take the ratios of Ca to Si, it is approximately 1:2. In this case, this is not correct. Even the fixed cations which are not in solid solution, even they are not matching. Okay, so ideally easiest way is just to look at the total cations, because they are different in each of these cases. If they were adding up to same, then you have to, then in second step you go into those individual distributions of these cations. Okay, any questions in this part? Any part you didn't understand? I can repeat again. So basically this is the overall process of this. Okay, no questions? Understood? Is this question simple or difficult?
Simple, sir.
Simple, sir.
It appeared difficult, right?
Yes, sir.
I don't know like why, if these total ratios are given to you, you shouldn't be getting confused, especially in these one. Like between 1 and 2 you shouldn't be any confusion. There are 6 iron molecules are over there. They have to, if you add like 1.4, 1.038, 0.56, yeah, this comes out to be approximately equal to 3 if you add all these up. Here it will not come out to be equal to 3. Okay, all right, so this part is finished with this one. Now we will come to the second part, which is related to that anesthetic thing. Okay, I will stop the